I am Lamersha Lewis. Let's talk. Today's is Thursday, January the 14th, 2021. Today's commentary. I just want to kind of talk about some things I have been listening to from various news outlets and social media platforms. Last night, let me just start with this. Yesterday, which was Wednesday, January the 13th, 2021, the current sitting president of the United States of America, the 45th president of the United States of America, Donald J. Trump, was impeached by the House of Representatives for the second time since having a one-term presidency. He is the only president in our United States history of America to be impeached twice. No other sitting president has ever been impeached twice. There has been 4 others, or 3 if you don't include him, but 4 including him. That has been, of course, we are very familiar with Richard Nixon with the Watergate scandal, in which Nixon did end up resigning, and we know Bill Clinton was impeached, but he wasn't removed, and one other, and Donald J. Trump, which was also impeached last year. And now, for the second time, he's an impeached president. That was recorded in history and will be in our history throughout history, that Donald J. Trump, an impeached president twice. And I want to talk about, and the reason for the impeachment is because of the insurrection, the sedition that took place at our nation's capital, the breach that took place at our nation's capital last Wednesday, January the 6th, 2021. And so many people have been saying, well, this is not American, this is not American. And I was listening to CNN where it was Chris Cuomo and Don Lemon were talking. At that time, Chris Cuomo's show was on, where he always say, let's get after me. And Don Lemon was coming up for his segment, his show, right after. And it was something profound that Don Lemon said that it resonated with me, because he spoke and told the truth. This is about racism. This is what this is about. Racism. Everybody often say, this isn't American, this isn't America. But I have to be like Don Lemon. Yeah, this is. It's about racism, because if we be honest and truthful, tell the truth, acknowledge, the United States of America, the country in which United States citizens reside and live in, it was founded upon racism. Is it right? Not at all. Is it fact? Is it true? Yes, it is. It was founded upon racism, and still to this day is what leads our country. These United States of America, racism. Racism will never go away. Again, we have to be honest. It doesn't have to be, because love should guide us. And if love truly guides, there will be more people willing to speak up. But this is where we are. I would like for many of you to do some research and go out there and research the white man's burden. See, the racism really became more heated and more invoked when we got the first African black man as president in 2008. When the former president, Barack Obama, which was the 45th president of the United States, when he won the presidency the first time, 2008, racism just inflamed. Because, see, a black man was never supposed to hold the title, the commander-in-chief of these United States of America. A black man was never supposed to do that. So that's when racism really start to, again, just really be emboldened and just like a wildfire, just like a wildfire. Mitch McConnell said from the beginning he wouldn't work with him, did everything that he could do, all of them, many of them, because of the pigmentation, the color of his skin. Being a black man was not supposed to be the president of the United States. And here we go. Now we are 6 days away from the inauguration of the first black woman to hold the role as vice president. That's why so much hell, resentment, and hate is being given to Joe Biden, is because he put on his ticket a black woman, a black educated woman. She graduated from Howard University, HBCU, Historical Black College University, Howard University in D.C., and she is a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha, the first black sorority. She's an attorney. She's smart as hell. And she's beautiful. She's intelligent. When they be doing those Senate hearings, she don't play around, or she didn't play around, as we saw with Brett Kavanaugh, and that time with Bill Barr. Intelligence. Same for former President Barack Obama. Intelligent. His wife, First Lady Michelle Obama. Intelligent people. Also a Harvard graduate. Both President and former First Lady Michelle Obama. Attorneys. Educated black people. And we got a man serving as president. Then again, his wife comes from a distinctive college as Harvard and Princeton. And then again, we got Kamala Harris coming in from a HBCU, Howard University. This is why we're in the divisiveness that we're currently in. Because this is supposed to be a white man's world. Even though it's 2021, the country was founded on racism. White conservatives. That's why many don't want to give up all these Confederate statues and the Confederacy flag, as we saw one man that was carrying it in the nation's capital. I have read where he has been arrested, which is good. But that's where all this come from. Racism. Racism is at the backbone, at the core of what our country, the United States of, keep in mind, they stole this country from the Indians. And the history book has not been completely true with what we read, especially when they don't even want to acknowledge black history. They only give us February 28 days, and when there's a leap year, it's 29 days, because they don't want to acknowledge and give facts about black history. But as we know, 365 black history every day. Again, research the white man's burdens. And that will probably give more clarity of some things. Is it right? Not at all. But the fact of the matter remains, that's what it's about. As a black person living in this country, the United States of America, you are not supposed to succeed. In fact, they still want you to be inferior to them. You're still to be treated and berated as if you're not even a human being. But see, we are not our ancestors. This is 2021. You're not living back in the times where there were slaves, or where black people did not have a say. They basically had to do as they were instructed because that was the time. This is 2021, a whole different generation of people. I heard Whoopi Goldberg say today on The View something, again, another profound statement that resonated with me. She said, America is not going back to the days of Dixie. Dixie is the Confederation. Again, the Confederate. In my state, it's been activism to try and remove a Confederate statue that resides in the city of Brandon. It's right where they got like a little roundabout, and where the Brandon official business, cause you got the courts and all of that, you got the circuit court, the chancery court, you got where to go and pay the taxes and all of that. Just right there in the heart of the city of Brandon, a Confederate statue. And there have been many rallies, and they will continue to have that statue removed because that was a time then. We are living in the time of now. And as Whoopi Goldberg said today, American is not going back to the days of Dixie. We are not. We are not our ancestors. We are people that would stand for our beliefs at any cost. Willing to do the work, willing to fight. We have a voice. We have a right. Why? Because we're United States citizens. So therefore, we have a voice. We have the right to protest peacefully, but we often are titled as people that are rioters, violent people are. We loot and we do this and we do that. All because, one, as we know, the Black Lives Matter, trying to advocate for Black lives against police brutality. Just like we know, even the President-elect Joe Biden know, and all of us know, again, if you be honest, if you be truthful, what happened at our nation's capital, the insurrection, the sedition, the breach to the nation's capital, if those had been Black people, there's no way in hell those people, one, would have even got to the actual steps to the Capitol. They would have been shot on the spot. They wouldn't have been able to storm and rage the nation's capital if they had been Black. They would have not been able to get into the chamber where our congressmen and women do the laws, where the presidents do their address to us, the American people. They wouldn't have been able to get into the Madam Speaker's private office to ramshack all the office of the staffs and members of Congress. No way, if they had been Black, that would have happened. They would have been shot and killed on the spot. And they definitely wouldn't have been able to get out and walk out like we saw those people once Trump finally did do that little video and told them to go home after he said, we love you, you're very special people, but go home. And they just walked out as if they had just completed a tour of the nation's capital. Black, if they'd have been Black, no way. They'd have been killed, many of them, and the others would have been in handcuffs, put in police vehicles, carried to jail. Now it's been, many people are saying that they think that was inside help. There was one lady that said she was former military and they've been trained to have an eye to do you basically just being observation of what's going on, your surroundings and things like that. Something was off. I heard AOC say something was off. I heard yesterday Alana Presley, who is one of the House of Representatives, she she was on Don Lemon's show last night. She said that her panic button had been removed, meaning like, I know, like I used to work at a bank, and as we know, banks, when a robbery or something comes in, you have those panic button that you're supposed to push that would automatically alert police and get help there. But she said her panic button was removed, and I was just paying attention to how those people, those terrorists, was just breaking the nation's windows, and they seem to have had very well knowledge of the Capitol. It's been stated that there have been seen people in MAGA, the Make America Great attire the day before January the 5th. Some people, public officials, obviously played a role in that. We know that Josh Hawley was seen doing the fist, holding up his fist. There have been numerous of public officials that posed taking pictures with these terrorists. I saw today where Don Jr., the man that stole Madam Speaker Nancy Pelosi's lantern where she does her address from, I saw a picture of him, like they have shown with him with her lantern, and a picture of Don Jr. looked like at a rally. So there was a relationship. There obviously was very carefully planned. We know there's been reported that there have been numerous of email and correspondence that Trump did with these terrorists and so many other people, because we heard Giuliani speak. We heard different representatives and Congress people speak at Trump's rally before the domestic terrorist stormed to the nation's capital, 16 blocks away, I believe is what it was said. This was the incitement orchestrated, commanded, carried out by Donald J. Trump. That's why he was impeached. Now the Senate has the responsibility to do the right thing and remove him, because as we know, many said, well, why remove one? That is the greatest way for him to actually to have accountability given, because this man incited an insurrection, a sedition at the nation's capital. 5 people died. And since then, it's been stated that 2 people, a police officer killed himself, committed suicide on Saturday. I read on social media where Sean King showed where it was another guy that was at the insurrection that took place. Excuse me. Who was a bank manager and couldn't face the consequences of his part, took his life. It's going to be more people to commit suicide, and let's just be real, of cause of what transpired at our nation's capital, incited, invoked by the president, Donald J. Trump. He must be held accountable. There's no and ifs, maybes, possibly. This is an absolute must. That's why the House of Representatives did what they were supposed to do, impeached. But as Sonny Hostin noted and stated on The View today, Donald Trump would get a $200,000 pension, a $1 million budget for travel. He would get an office staff, office, if he just gets to walk out as other predecessors have done once their term is over and the new incumbent president takes place. The previous predecessor walks out with a pension plan, a $200,000 pension plan, where we, the average American, can't even get affordable health care. Many people have to ration out their prescription or simply go without their medical prescription. Many Americans, us average Americans, we don't get to go on a vacation, but this man would have a $1 million travel budget. And as it has been stated, he can still be going, as Sonny has said, go around this country still spewing his lies, his falsehood, tearing down we, the American people, and we will be paying for this. That's why it matters. But most importantly, it matters because he incited a insurrection, a sedition to the United States of America, a breach to our nation's capital. That's why it's important. And again, we have to realize when you hear Meghan McCain, you hear so many of this is not America, this is not the America. It is America because America was founded on racism. America still is racist. And because, again, Donald Trump being who he is, these public officials, senators, and House of Representatives, they too have that same racism in their heart, that same hate in their hearts. That's why they've stuck with this man. That's why they still support this man, knowing that he's wrong, especially the horrific thing that took place at our nation's capital. 5 people's lives are gone, dead. Violence, domestic terrorist violence at the nation's capital. Racism. I can't say it or stress it enough. Racism. I want to let me find this. What I want to read to you. I have so much that I be. And it was earlier this week. Donald Trump was going to give Freedom of Medal, the Presidential Medal of Freedom to Bill Belichick, but I have the utmost respect for him, Mr. Belichick, for the New Orleans. He's part of the New England Patriots football team. He declined. See, that's where you show integrity. That's where you show leadership. That's when you show character, not to engage in being a part of a man that has invoked domestic terrorist violence, a breach to our nation's capital, and an insurrection, a sedition to our nation's capital. This is what Mr. Bill Belichick said. Recently, I was offered the opportunity to receive the Presidential Medal of Freedom, which I was flattered out of respect for that, the honor represents, and the admiration for prior recipients. Subsequently, the tragic events of last week occurred, and the decision has been made not to move forward with the award. Above all, I am an American citizen with great reverence for our nation's values, freedom, and democracy. I know I also represent my family and the New England Patriots team. One of the most rewarding things in my professional career took place in 2020 through the great leadership within our team. Conversation about social justice, equality, human rights moved to the forefront and became actions. Continuing those efforts while remaining true to the people and team and country I love outweigh the benefits of any individual award. And again, I truly respect Mr. Belichick for doing the right thing. I want to give the meaning to what insurrection means. Revolting against civil authority. An act or instance of revolting against civil authority or an established government. Sedition meaning conduct or speech inciting people to rebel against the authority or state of America. That is what Donald J. Trump did on January the 6th, 2021. He incited a sedition and an insurrection. And at the core of it all is racism. And he must be held accountable because people lost lives. And this is a bloodstain that will forever be on our country. And it was all incited by the 45th president, who is now been impeached for the second time, the only president in the United States history to have been impeached twice. Keep all of this in mind. This is where we are at. This is the America as we're seeing in real time. Once more, research white man's burden. I am LaMarsha Lewis. Let's talk.